All right, good morning, e-learners. We shall now go over homework. All right, you guys feel confident or unconfident on this homework?
Easy.
Now, where problems are,
In the middle.
right, where problems are always a little tricky, right? For those of you that probably truly want to admit, right, you're probably, well, granted, remember, I don't give you too much homework on word problem nights. All right, here we go. Numero dos, number 2. The answer is, remember, you're supposed to put it in form. Where's your homework? Okay. If it is not in my box, by the end of the day, you get a 0. All right, you did. A bunch of people got 0s yesterday because you didn't turn it home. Amanda, you weren't one of them. I exempted you. Okay. But today, you got to turn in homework, right? Good job. And I did get all your homework from before, too. All right, number 2. The package will cost $7.20. Good?
Yes.
Right? All right, number 4. The distance differs by 70 miles. Now, if your sentence or phrase isn't exactly like mine, as long as it makes sense, right? Number 6, the camera will shoot 7,200 frames. We still use this, okay, you know me, I always go off on tangents. FPS, right? If you play computer games, you hear about this thing, FPS. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Obviously, my great technique of yelling louder always gets the right answer. It never works. But no, I'm not asking you what do the letters mean. What does it mean? What's frames per second?
It's how slow or how fast.
No, it doesn't.
How many people, when you were a little bit younger, maybe you still do it, you took a book and you did a little flip thing?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You know what I'm talking about? You make a little dot, go, oh, that's so cool. That's FPS. How many of those pages you turn in 1 second? Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 6. That would be pages per second. A frame is literally, if you don't know it, if you're watching a movie or something like that, it's pictures. I mean, we literally call it, I'm going to the movies. Some people say, I'm going to the moving picture show. Why is it called moving pictures? Because it's literally a picture. They take the first picture, and then they put it down and show you the second picture. And then they put it down and they show you the third. The reason why it doesn't look like there's a hand moving it is because it's done very fast. Okay? So a movie, if you go to a movie, they're typically, the camera shoots it, takes pictures 24 times a second. Right? 24 times. It's 24 FPS, frames per second. Back when there was film, like physical film, there would be 24 of those little tiny frames. And they call it a frame because it looked like a picture frame, right? There would be 24 of those on the little strip of film, and that would be 1 second of film. That's why those canisters of film were huge, right? It was a physical media. Nowadays, when you hear this FPS, it's done with video games or video screens, and it still means the same thing. Your computer or your TV, it shows a picture and it stops, right? And then it erases the screen and it draws the next picture, and it does that. So nowadays, what everyone's trying to get is around, like the new Xbox and PlayStation, they're trying to get around 60 pictures per second. Some of the higher, better computers do like 120 frames per second, right? The current model, they're lucky if they do 30 frames per second. And that's why sometimes it looks kind of juddery, like, it's stopping the motion, especially when that's what's happening. Okay, off on my tangent. Number 8, sorry. Number 8, so that whole thing, when you add them all up, what do we get?
54.
How much?
56.
Somebody was yelling 47. It's 54 minutes. So it took Jeff 54 minutes to get to work. Number 10. Your dog should eat 9 cups of food, apparently. If I fed my dog 9 cups of food, I'd be one fat dog.
It was 3 dogs. 3 dogs.
Okay.
You need 9 cups of
If I had 3 dogs, I would be happy. My wife would not be happy.
I have 3 dogs.
All right.
I have 1.
Number 12. There are 13 more sedans. All right. Who knows what a sedan is?
Isn't it a minivan?
What's a sedan?
It's like the one with the,
It's like the one with what?
it's like a car with the trunk and then the wagon. There's one with like a bigger trunk.
Genevieve, what do you think a sedan is?
It's like tin and it has electronics in it and 4 wheels on it.
What is a sedan?
It's one of them with a common car's top.
What is it?
It's a car.
Okay. So which ones out there are sedans?
I don't know, let's
The
go
ones
check.
that are basic.
No, there's mini games. Yeah.
Okay. I just find it amusing that we throw these words out and we assume everyone knows what we're talking about, right? A sedan. I want to say it's French word. I think it's French. We'll look it up here in a second. It's 4 doors, has a trunk, right? And there's these words like hatchback and coupe. You heard that? That is French. A coupe is a sedan with 2 doors, right? And then obviously we know what pickup trucks are.
Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
A Mini Cooper is, if it has 4 doors, it's still called, it can be called a sedan, but usually those are hatchbacks because the back of it opens up like that. They call those hatchbacks. I'm not a car person, but I'm probably wrong. Somebody is watching on the video there. Send me email saying, you don't know anything about cars. All right. But I bring that up as a point of a word problem. Now, that particular problem, it was fine because it wasn't part of the description of what you need to know. But there will be times when you read a word problem, you got to know what the word means. Do not ever be afraid to ask myself, what does that mean? I don't even know what this word means, including on a test or something like that, especially if it's going to cause you to get the problem wrong. Yes. Why is the word what? Where do you see it?
On there.
I don't know. Because Mr. Brubaker teaches one class in here. So he teaches 10th grade history, Western Civ 2. So right now they're doing Fall of the Roman Empire is what they're doing right now. So Constantinople, Great Schism. Anybody? No? You will.
Shepherd.
Okay.
Shepherd was
You
it.
take Latin and you've already learned.
What's the Great Schism?
I don't know what the Great Schism is, but
Okay.
I'm talking about Constantinople.
What's Constantinople?
That's the western capital city for Rome.
You got it backwards.
Eastern.
It's the Eastern capital.
capital city.
Think about it like my thing's in front of the map right there, but so turn on you. So we got Saudi Arabia right there. Greece is right here. Turkey is right here. So Turkey, right, separates the Black Sea from the Mediterranean Sea. And so Constantinople is right there, right where Turkey comes together with basically where Europe and Asia come together. So you'll hear these things called the Bosphorus Straits or the Dardanelles. There's actually 2 little tiny places where separates the Black Sea from the Mediterranean. So, all right, way off topic, thank you. All right, I'll collect those in just a second, but today, yes, ma'am. Oh, I didn't call it off. What's the answer, guys?
13 sedans.
13 sedans? More?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll trust you guys with group work. Yes,
I think I accidentally put an extra one.
you can do that. So what's always the last step of solving word problems? Check reasonable, right? So she got 113, right? And if you look at the numbers and you're thinking, I don't know if that one's an add or subtract one, but would it be reasonable to get 113? I mean, that's your last chance of at least identifying that maybe you have a mistake. All right. Now, majority of the people had me last year. They know how this chapter review stuff goes for today. But for those that didn't have me last year, this is how I do chapter reviews. Miss Garland literally could teach this because she sat through many of these. So, am I on the right page? Is this course 2? I'm confusing myself. Oh, yes, I'm right. So we will occasionally do this in course 2. And by that, what I mean is for those of you I had last year, I would always print out a chapter review for you. A couple times, this is the one, I think I do it 3 times. We're going to use because I like it, most of the time I don't like it. I'm going to use the chapter test in the book as your chapter review. Now, I'm going to confuse some of you right now. When you flip to page 35, everybody, if you have your book, flip to page 35. You're supposed to bring your books every single day. When you look at page 34, what's page 34 say? And I agree, it's confusing. So, can you listen? Right, today we're going to do the chapter test, and I'm using that chapter test as the review. So we're reviewing the material, but I always will have the one kid that right now, even though I ask you to pay attention, they're not paying attention. And they're like, I thought we were doing the chapter review. Right now we're doing what's on page 35, the chapter test. I'm using it as the review. You will do numbers 1 through 16 all. I'm going to leave this slide up so you don't have to write it down. And then 20 through 25. So we're not doing the whole thing. All right. So that's what we're going to be doing. So for those of you that have me, you know how I do this. So the process here is we try to keep a nice, quiet environment, just like a test. No, it's not because I don't want you working with the person next to you, but because tomorrow you're not going to work with the person next to you. It's just you. So today's our last chance to kind of figure out whether or not you can do this by yourself. So I do want you to work. That means that even though you're going to be going at your own pace, right? Some of you are, let's see, what's a nicer word than lazy, right? You are less efficient than your neighbor at work. But I do want you to work. And I'm trying to make a joke here, but please work, right? Use this time wisely, okay? We're going to work only by ourselves. If you run into a problem, you can absolutely 100% ask me a question. I will certainly give you assistance, right? But I need you to work by yourself and work quietly. When you come to a problem, raise your hand. I'll come by and I'll give you assistance. If you forget to ask for help, then, you know, clearly, since this is what the test is going to look like tomorrow, right, you're going to do poorly on the test. Use this as a guide to figure out what you need to study. What I would like you to do is, if you get one wrong on your paper, by the way, this is your homework for tonight. When you get one wrong on the paper, circle it so that during essay and then tonight when you're studying for your test again, right, you can just study the ones that you did poorly on. The ones that you got right, you're showing mastery of it. You know what to do. But the ones that you get wrong, unless it's a silly mistake, right, that's the one you need to practice on. I would say even if you make a silly mistake, do it again. Right? Don't do it again like right now, but wait a couple hours like essay and then do that problem and see if you don't make that same mistake again. That's our goal. So you're going to study the things you get wrong, not the things you get right. For those of you that are new, I don't care. You can bring a piece of paper in, front and back, and write anything you want on it. You want to literally put all of those questions, and that's your resource card, fine. I don't grade the resource card. I don't require you to have a resource card. I will certainly, call you out, right, in front of the class. If you do poorly and you don't have a resource card, where was your resource card? Right? No, I'm not going to line you up against the wall and say, hey, didn't have a resource card, didn't have a resource card, fail, 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 that sort of thing. But I'm saying if you do poorly, I'm going to ask you in front of everyone, hey, did you have a resource card? Why didn't you? I didn't know how to do problem number 4. It was just like number 4 on the practice test. Why didn't you put that on your resource card? Right? This is just trying to get you into the habit of taking advantage of whatever's offered to you that can help you, and the resource card will help you. Now, granted, maybe not on this particular test, right? But as we get further into the material, there's going to be plenty of things you're going to want. The one thing that I don't typically put on reviews, chapter reviews, are word problems, but I will have a word problem or 2 on the test. All right, so when it says make an awesome resource card, that's kind of in your realm. All right, question?
So you feel like the page, it doesn't have to be like a little.
No, it doesn't have to be an index card. It can be a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. What's your question, Jaden? Because 17 is my unlucky number. No, I just didn't like the questions. Anybody else? All right. Now, the one thing that I do, I'm going to say that slowly, is I give you the answers. so that you can know immediately whether you're getting these right or you're getting these wrong. And for those of you that have had before know that if I make a mistake, it's usually on this sheet of paper right here, because I type too fast and I make silly mistakes. So see if you can catch me making a mistake. Here are the answers. So how should you use this? If you're like me, I like, if I do one problem and immediately look at the answer, my eyeball also looks at the answer for the next question. And then I kind of already know what the answer is and I don't get the full benefit. So I would say don't do any more than 2 or 3 of them and then check. That way you're not doing all of the homework and finding out, hey, I got all of them wrong. Hopefully that's not the case. But here are the answers. Then flip it over. I guess I was nice and I printed off what the numbers were already for you. And
Thank you.
yes. Oh, you're gonna count right. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I will turn that. Did we got the next one? Or did I just count one? Yes, I thought I counted right.
No, but I just gave you.
Oh, you're being a gentleman. Thank you. I'll print one. Okay, go ahead and get started. Everyone has one except for Jenna, correct? All right, e-learners, if you have any questions, send me an email. You will see your test on tomorrow's link. It'll be a separate link for you to do your tests. I will see you guys tomorrow.